Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 7 of KoreCast Talking Games. Before we get started, I have to give out a warning. This topic that we are about to discuss, while we're going to keep it safe for work, is not safe for children. So, if you're listening to this podcast with a young child in the room, either send them away or pause it until you can listen to it later and decide whether it is right for your child to be listening to this particular topic. Um, First, I would like to introduce two KoreCast alumni. They have both been on previous episodes. Actually, they were in episodes 1 and 2 of KoreCast. From episode 1, Baby Bird, Dancing Dove,
Hello.
and from episode 2, Siren Vixen.
Hi. Also known as
All
the
right.
Scream Queen.
Yes, also known as the Scream Queen. Uh, I chose to invite these two to this particular topic because I feel like while I'm a guy, my viewpoint might not be correct in the viewpoint that other people might share about this particular topic. This topic is sexism in gaming and uh, also with Twitch streamers. Well, this is why it is not recommended for children, people. I'm not being facetious or mean about it. It is one of these topics that I came across a couple weeks ago while I was prepping and doing research for Deuce's stream. A person on one of the channels I watch for gaming news and that type of stuff came out and was screaming, "My body should not be sexualized because you think you should be able to look at me." And this was on a gaming channel. And so it brought me to do more research on the sexualization of female characters through gaming. And I was thinking about it. Lara Croft, for one, was one of the very first hyper sexualized female characters out there. Uh, and I was like looking at that and going, yeah, but modern day Lara Croft is more muscular and less endowed, for lack of a better word. Um, and I'm like thinking about this. WoW has armor for females that are so scantily clad and like barely cover anything, and it just made me think the reason why guys miss hitting when they were swinging is because they were sexualizing your body looking at that armor. Nah, that's my joke right there. So yeah, it's time for your guys' 2 cents real quick. I'm trying to pull up some articles that I
Right.
was
So
researching.
to continue what you were talking about, Melkor, especially I have an article that I found from Temple News that apparently video game design teams often sexualize female characters to make them look more appealing to men, rather giving them the female characters a more practical design. So like um that's one of the reasons I guess that you see a lot of like games like, for example, from what I noticed, Borderlands 2, Moxie, the girl
Yeah,
Moxie, she is a perfect example of being like these these developers like often enhance these these characters' physical features. So, and I think that
Well,
also contributes to the factor as well.
okay. Um, I agree that they adjust them so male players are
Mhm.
more attracted to said characters.
Right.
And part of that goes back to marketing. Okay, I look at it through the lens of who am I selling X product to?
Right.
What can I do to get my product into X person's hand?
Mhm.
And for most game developers, they know that their biggest target is pubescent boys.
Mhm.
Boys that would be like back when I was young, sneaking into their dad's room to steal the Playboys. What was that?
Just thinking, who keeps Playboys for? I'm just saying, but like, I will say this: another game that I don't think none of us really thought about until I did some research yesterday was Mortal Kombat.
Oh yeah,
Because
yeah.
when you
Mortal
freaking
Kombat.
Blade, freaking Katana, like all those characters are wearing skimpy clothing, and it's just like, oh, okay, yeah, of course the man is gonna go play the female character because that's what's going to
Katana,
bring in their audience.
Malaya.
Mhm.
Here is one of the female characters in that game that wasn't as overtly sexualized from the first game, but I think roughly about the sixth game, she became insanely a little bit more sexualized. Was Sonya Blade?
Yes, I had seen something about that as well. Like,
Yeah,
but they changed it to where I think they put her in a military jacket, and it's
yeah, yeah. It was like I think it was up 6 or was it 10? I know in 10 she wears just like a military jacket with a bikini underneath.
Mhm. But I think Mortal
Uh
Kombat 11 is trying to steer away from that now. So
yeah, they're trying to go away from it again, but they'll go back to it, trust me
also
on
that.
this. Because like I said, the number one people that buy video games happen to be
Mhm.
guys. Uh, I mean, well, yes, I think that female gamers should have a right in the gaming sphere.
Right.
And I mean, Elden Ring is trying to appease women with one of their new armor outfits that they have just made. I'm sure I shared that image with you guys
Yeah.
the other day. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, the cod piece of unnatural sizes.
Oh, like, I don't understand why game developers do that because it's just like,
I get
we're
it.
not we're not as, like, out there about our sexuality
Right.
and about things like that when it comes to video games. We play it to have fun, we play it to, you know, for an
Even
audience,
right.
whether we're good at it or not, we do it because it's fun for us. We don't sit there and do it because, "Oh, yeah,
I
well,
understand.
I want this."
Hmm.
No.
I understand is like I have an understanding that's more for the eye-catching aspect, but the fact that it's to me it looks a little bit unrealistic because like
Mhm.
you're yeah.
It is unrealistic, and um honestly, okay, when when I was younger, okay, like I have mentioned that the Playboys, Siren was like, who keeps Playboys? Again, I am an old fogey. Okay, I will admit that I'm an old man when it comes to gaming industry. I've been playing video games since the 80s. Okay, so I've been around quite a while, so Back when I was a child, my parents had a talk with me that video games was fake, that it's not realistic, that I think almost every parent should have with their kids. It's not realistic. It's not meant to be real. Um Now, will they still look will a young boy look at Moxie like you brought up and go, yeah, I'm going to have a reason to keep my Kleenex close by tonight. Uh, yes, they're still going to do that. But it I feel like what people need to understand is for women gamers, the game is about storyline.
Exactly.
The better the storyline or better the development of the game appeases more to women. Whereas for men, we look at a character like Bayonetta and go immediately like, we want to play that game. Why? Don't know. We want to play it. Even though that game has a horrible storyline if you ever have played it.
I've never played it, but like,
Oh,
yeah, like you
yeah.
said, I like playing a game that's story based.
Yep.
Yeah,
Like
that's why.
when I first started playing COD, I played it for the storyline. I'm not playing it because, oh my god, this character, oh, like I'm gonna go dream about him tonight, or I'm gonna go do this tonight. No, no, no. I'm playing it for the storyline because that's what pulled me in. That's what interested me. Not, oh, and I understand guys, you know, they have their needs, but like they're a pixelated character. You are sitting there, oh yeah, well, I have a reason to keep my Kleenex next to me when it's not really deemed necessary. It's just play it for the storyline. Play it for the storyline. Don't sit there and over sexualize something because it is a pixel. It's not that it can't do anything for you. And if it does,
Right.
I'm like, all power to you. But it's a little weird to me.
Right, right, but I I think what what most people who says, "Oh, you shouldn't sexualize video game characters because it leads to unrealistic uh imposing on women."
Mhm.
I hate to say this, what leads more to an unrealistic imposing on women is advertisements.
Like,
Personal opinion. Personal opinion. Okay. I'm getting yelled at by chat saying that I'm wrong about Bayonetta having a bad storyline. Sorry, the storyline of Bayonetta was completely horrible in my viewpoint.
yeah, but I mean, everyone's, you know, has their right to an opinion, but like there are some games that does have like really bad storylines, but you know, people still play it because they have that whatever it is pulling their eye and I'm like, oh, this is what I want to play.
Right, right,
And
right.
it literally does that, you know.
Um, I mean, okay. I look at those style of video games like Bayonetta and like that, and people say, "Oh, all you're doing is objectifying women. That you need to show more respect." And here's what I think: women. Okay, let me try to word this so that it's safe for work but not safe for kids. Women understand that their bodies are somewhat objectified. Um, I'm not sure that most women understand that most men aren't looking for the perfect number 10. If they are, they're an asshole. Because there's no such thing as a perfect number 10 for every person.
Nope.
Okay. I might have to do that again. It's illegal. Yeah. Okay. Errol, you're right. It was a Devil May Cry style game, which Devil May Cry, even though I have played almost all of them, is a really style video game for me, honestly. And you're absolutely right, Bone. However, a lot of states are overturning the going topless in public for females. Well, I feel a woman should be able to go topless, even though most women, if they had the rights to go topless, would be still like, I'm putting on a shirt. Yeah, you can sell breasts, but you can't wear breast in America. Yep. Um, I I look at it this way: women that understand that sex sells sex.
Mhm.
Um, and more power to them. Just what I'm upset with is people attacking video games. Personal This is my personal viewpoint, that women attack women that are third wave feminists.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put that term out there. I'm try to avoid politics. I try to claim viewpoints and that type of stuff. When it comes down to it, uh I agree with first wave feminism and second wave feminism. After second wave feminism, women have gotten what they want. Third wave feminism is just so abruptly nonsensical. It irritates me. Um and if you guys want, I can give you the definitions of both of those. Okay, all three of the different feminism waves. But modern day feminists irritate me because they say you shouldn't objectify women. Objectifying women or playing a video game with or playing a women video game character just makes you want to be in control of women. No.
I don't agree with that.
Yeah,
I
neither
think
do I.
they're finding ways, like the new wave feminism, like people that are, activists, I think they're finding ways to complain about something. So if they find something that is very controversial, even though like it's really not, they're gonna find a way to make that a bigger deal than it really is.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad because there's people that, who are true feminists, but they do it for the right reasons. They don't do it because, "Oh, like, this is how we feel." No, they're doing it, and they've done it the right way, and I really do as a woman, I don't understand why people, like, women mainly complain about everything. It's just like, if
Well,
it's their way or the highway, at this point, and it's just like, it's a video game. Yeah, obviously, not every video game is gonna over sexualize a character. So you can't always look at it like that. You have to look at it, what's gonna bring in the sales? Like you said, sex sells. So if it's something that the woman's wearing provocatively, then yeah, they're gonna bring that in, but they're not they're not doing it to over sexualize that character. They're not trying to make that character sexy. They're just doing it for advertisements just to sell their product.
Right.
Exactly. Um, and okay, I would love, okay, if there's a female gamer out there that wants to discuss this topic again, I have no problem bringing it up again. If there's a female gamer out there again that is modern day feminist and would like to have an open Discord about this topic, feel free to message me, Crimson, to get onto KoreCast, and I will talk with you about this subject. I'm not I'm not downing feminism in any way. Okay,
Right.
I support, like I said, support the first two waves. First two waves of feminism. Phase one was women should have the ability to do stuff besides be a homemaker.
Mhm.
Second wave was the right for women to be considered equal. Both of those have been achieved, and people go, oh, women are not equal. That's a different topic. We're not discussing that. Women and men are not equal. I will already admit to that one. Women are better, in my honest opinion. Let's see here. Sexualization is imposed from outside as opposed to sexuality. An understanding of the body's response and desires and abilities to communicate that cultivates from within. Absolutely true.
Whoever said that, I
There,
agree.
that was Bone. That was Bone again. He is a phenomenally deep thinking person. Um, what people need to understand is if you don't want overly sexy video game characters or play overly sexualized video game characters, then don't complain that the majority of people are going to be out there buying Lost Ark to play a female character wearing scantily clad armor running down the street because they just want to look at her butt. I'm just saying.
Right.
But
And
like I
kind of, oh, go
mm,
ahead.
go ahead. I'm
So kind of going off of what you're saying about like the first wave, not being homemakers. For for me, what I think what grinds my gears is like you're playing a video game, like I had mentioned COD. Um, you get into like the game chat and like you hear like the moment that they hear a female, there's some that will be like, "Oh my god, there's a girl in here," and then there's some that be like, "Oh, girls can't play. Girl, you have bad aim. Are you a girl?" You
Right.
know, say, "Put down your controller, go make me a sandwich," and stuff like that. Like, there are guys that play video games that will stop at nothing to belittle a female gamer, and then once they get their butts kicked by that female gamer, they wanna go and then they wanna make these comments that are completely unnecessary, and I never understood that because for someone like I like to play Call of Duty, I like to play Halo, I
okay.
like to play Gears of War and stuff, and I've had that happen to me. I've had guys,
You,
like, hit on me,
I,
and then I've had guys belittle me.
I'm going to be honest about this, Siren. Why guys are doing this? Okay. Guys will say for the most part, "Oh, you can't play a video game because you're a female."
Mhm.
It's mostly because when they're this dealt so much negative side effects or stereotypes that third wave feminism is pushing into their head, they're trying to push back to balance things out. Okay,
Right.
and that's why there will be the overtly, oh, go make me a sandwich. Um, be like comments and that type of stuff.
Mhm.
It's it's uh it's a pushback mechanism, and while yes, there's a lot of toxicity from the guy community, I will agree to this. The guy community is very toxic. It comes from jock mentality. We want to be the best, and bad talking, belittling is one of those things that is instilled in us. While most people go, "Oh, you should talk to your kids about that and it prevent them from doing that." It's always going to happen. Once kids hit a certain age, they stop listening to parents.
Mhm.
They will go out, do their own thing, and they'll do what they think is cool because their friends go, "Man, that's so funny." Ha 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 type deal. And that's where the guy mentality comes from online video games.
Mhm.
If you haven't noticed, I normally play, or if I'm playing a game, I normally pick a select group of people to play with. Because it's like I like certain my set friends because I dislike the negative. Oh, like in Dead by Daylight for a long period of time. If you were playing a killer and all four people escaped without you being able to hook a single one of them, they'd be going, "Good GG, easy noob, you should uninstall,"
Right.
type deal.
But yeah, I feel like that's like
DBD, the DVD community has become so toxic.
yeah.
Oh,
But I
that was like at the beginning, man. That has been an insanely toxic community since the beginning.
Mhm.
but yeah, I kind of feel like the fact that female streamers and gamers have been constantly put down by the male community makes it even difficult for them to create a name and and create their platform even e- just by how do you say it? Like it makes it hard for them to create a name for them and get their channel running, or just in general, because like the
Mhm.
fact they're getting like put down, like even harassed to the point where they're not even comfortable to have their own personal face cam. It's like I feel
Mhm.
like
Right.
they're scared, or they're scared of being judged or being put
Mhm.
down
Right.
by other people.
Well, okay. You everybody that listens to the podcast should know I'm engaged to Crimson Fury, who is a fantastic streamer.
Mhm.
She doesn't have a face cam. Why? She doesn't want to be judged by her looks as a female gamer while she's playing. She wants to be judged by her game style, how
Mhm.
she plays the game. And I support her on that. If that's how she wants to do it, I support her on that. I mean, granted, it's probably going to be a lot harder for her than me to build a community because, I do have a face cam, even though it's a very bad one. Um, but it's like I understand that part of what the community wants is those shocked reactions from my face when something odd happens in a video game or
Right.
type moments.
That makes sense.
Uh and like it I fully understand for her to say that because then she'd be compared to these hot tub streamers.
Mhm.
Like, oh, why don't you put on a bikini and stand by a hot tub for me instead? I'll pay you 100, or I'll pay you thousands of biddies just to do that. You
Yeah,
And
know?
you bring it, and what you just said brings up a good point. I feel like the male community expects just the male community, in my opinion, is just how do you say it? It's
They
they
kinda have,
think
like, a mindset of
they
what the
think
female should look like.
I think they think the female gamers are there for their personal viewing, and that they
Mhm.
think
Yeah,
whatever they're gonna say that the gamers that these female streamers are gonna do for them, which that's not the case, or shouldn't be the case at all.
Like, "Yeah, if I'm gonna drop these biddies on you, you're gonna give me something to look at." Like,
Exactly.
"No, I'm
Right.
not doing this for you. I'm doing this because playing video games is something that I love. I'm not gonna sit there and you don't own me. I am not your property, therefore do not, don't look at me like that."
Right.
Like, I
I
feel like
I'm I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you, Siren, real quick. I'm
okay.
loving the Mel response right now in my chat. Okay. Yes, yes. Like one person's like, I love Crimson, and it's like, oh,
We
I'm
all love
sorry about
Crimson.
No, we
you.
all love
We all love
Crimson.
Uh
Crimson.
Bone, face cam is irrelevant to a community.
Mhm.
If they like what you have to say, they'll be there. That is absolutely true. Um and uh Kempa hit there. I'm hoping I pronounced your name right. Please don't hurt me. That's nasty. Keep your clothes on and play more video games.
Mhm.
𝗟𝗏𝗘 is like the ASMR section looks like a certain other website beginning with the letter P.
Oh my god, I know what you're talking about. Mhm, mhm.
Like I before this episode started, we were like me, Siren and Duff here, we were like on Twitch looking at um certain community on Twitch. It's amazing that it's on the front page of Twitch. Twitch is starting to understand that, oh, we're going to make lots of money off of these people. Yes, yes, exactly. Facecam attracts people to first click on your
Mhm.
thing, but it doesn't matter if you aren't interesting. Absolutely correct.
Right. Regardless, in my personal opinion, I'm there regardless if you have a face cam or not. Excuse me.
Mhm.
So like, I'm more focused on the content that you bring, not what you look
Yeah,
like.
Mhm.
yeah, I know you're here for the content because I bring the
Yeah.
funny. Oh wait,
Yeah.
wait, wait.
And you bring the scary too.
Bring the scary too.
That's not.
But yeah, I don't think that it should matter. And like Dove said, I don't think it should really matter if you have a face cam or not. It's more about the gameplay. If you're there just to look at someone, there's websites. Just saying.
Yes, yeah.
Not
There are
not going that
plenty.
there's
We're
plenty of
not
websites you
mentioning
could go
them.
to. We're not mentioning them, but there's websites you could go to if you just want to look at stuff. I
Right.
mean, there's freaking
It
Google
is
for crying out loud.
it is easy enough to go to Google or DuckDuckGo or to your favorite search
Mhm,
engine if you even prefer Bing. Type in certain keywords, which
mhm. And if you
it
don't want to
doesn't
one in, there's an incognito mode.
right, right. And
And
if you're it's
I'm
like
saying, but
okay,
like, yeah, when you're streaming on Twitch, it is about watching the gameplay and getting
bonding with
interested in the game.
bonding with other community members
Mhm,
as well.
right.
exactly. I, I, I just don't understand. Like if it, and I feel like for most men, even when women do put on their face cam, they hold them to a certain standard. Like, well, you need to look like this person. No, like
Right,
I don't.
right.
I am my own person. I'm not gonna sit there and do what someone else is doing. Because yes, that may get me the biddies, that may get me the subs, that may get me like the donations. but that's not what I'm doing it for. Like, I'm gaming to create a community, not
Exactly.
not for anything else. So, yeah.
I mean, we're. I think. I think the over sexualization of females on Twitch should be removed. Even
Mhm,
though I support females selling their body if they want to. I will be completely honest with you. I support females if they want to go out there and be with as many people as they want to as partners. More power to them.
mhm.
One, it's not video games that is sending you to doing that. So I hate to say that. It's not. That's completely psychology right there. Most people don't realize that. That's pure psychology right there. But I have no problem with a person doing that. What upsets me is people saying video games is what's making women go sell their bodies on OnlyFans.
No.
No.
No, that's their own personal choice.
I feel like what they wear, especially in streaming, is a huge contribution to that as well.
Yeah,
Well, see,
and for some
see,
people,
see the reason why I think people think that that or third wave feminists think that is they look at big named female streamers
mhm,
that do that type of stuff, both Twitch and OnlyFans.
mhm,
Not naming names. I won't name names on that one, but I've but both Dub and Siren knows
mhm,
exactly.
Yep. That's the
What do
mhm.
thing. It's a,
video games have to do with women dresses or behave? It doesn't.
It
it
doesn't.
shouldn't.
It
It shouldn't.
absolutely doesn't.
I'm upset. It upsets me when people go, "Oh, you're just doing it so you can sexualize women and make young girls have this bad self-image about their bodies." No, you're making women have bad self-image about their bodies by saying you have to be a size 3 or 4
Mhm,
or 2 or whatever.
mhm. And I think the fact that
Or
they're also
you like you have to be size 2 or size 25.
right.
And that's not video games that do that. That is music videos and television in
Magazines.
general, magazines.
More everyday life, more or less.
Mhm. Like, you can shield, like, especially for, like, these new wave feminists, especially if they have children, you can shield your child from that. You can teach them that you don't have to look like this. You don't have to appease anybody. Be yourself. But the
Yep.
fact that they don't do that, and then they wanna put the blame on someone else. So, it's easier for them to
Mhm.
I guess, sleep at night because they find themselves not responsible for
Oh, it's not
shielding.
my fault that you allowed your child to become a hoe. And it Bum put this question at right. The real question is who's at fault? The person who over sexualizing while streaming or the person who's watching? And
Hmm.
I will put that question as a valid question. Who is actually at fault?
Hmm.
Well, one, people are taught sex sells. Always taught that sex sells. In fact, I've watched a documentary about how sex sells.
Mm.
And it's like, who is at fault? Is it the person doing it or is it the person watching? And I go, it is human nature that is at fault.
Could it be
Both
a
the
little bit of both?
person do
Mhm.
both the person doing it and the person who's watching it. Now, is
Exactly.
there anything wrong with doing it or watching it? No. I just don't think it should be involved with a gaming site.
Yeah,
Mhm. Like,
agree.
and again, if you want to do that, there's other sides. Like Twitch is about gaming. Twitch is about building communities. It's not about showing off your body because you look good. Yeah, like I more power to those women who are so comfortable with that, but you would never see me do that as a female. Like when I decide to, get back into streaming, that's not something I'm gonna do. I am gonna do things that I love to do, which is play video games. And I I wish that Twitch was, a little more, how should I say this? I wish they were more focused, like they would actually put down the hammer and be like, "Hey, okay, yes, this is getting this person views, but this is not appropriate." Like
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
I feel like they're feeding into it and they're just letting it happen just because this person could get tens of thousands of viewers and their streams because of what they're doing. And it has absolutely nothing to do with gaming. Like I don't understand what the ASMR and the hot tub, because what does that have to do with gaming? Like
It doesn't.
absolutely nothing.
no, I
So
yeah, I agree with Cyan on that because I feel like with people who like with this specific topic about like females, especially who are on Twitch, literally objectifying themselves. I feel like that's not a good. This place is not a really good platform for them to do that. I feel more like gaming. I see the people on Twitch who are DJ podcasting as well. I feel like those more fit into the Twitch community. Like
Mhm.
that kind of thing. I don't, in my opinion, shouldn't even belong here.
Right,
Exactly.
right, right. I fully agree with that. And like I will pull up the the IRLs tab, the just chatting or the animals in aquariums and zoos. Those are fun to look at.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, they don't have anything to do with gaming, the I feel just chatting does have something to do with gaming, or
Mhm.
programming has something to do with gaming. Or,
Or
I
even
mean,
art.
Art too, exactly. Yes,
yeah,
art too as
art
well.
art
Yes,
has art has
forgot about
something
that.
to do with gaming. But fitness,
Mm.
like the fitness and health, like, okay, yeah, it's good to keep people healthy, but if you actually click that, you will find that majority of what is there is either like insanely scantily clad women doing yoga
Mhm.
or ripped men doing chin ups, which is what I actually just pulled up fitness and health, and that's the first three channels I saw right there. It's like, honestly, I understand, as a gamer, you should keep yourself healthy. You should
Mhm.
go outside, spend some time outside, getting some vitamin D from the sun, biking for a bit, you know.
Like
But
I understand that like dancers want to find a platform to eat to fit in, but I feel like this is not a good spot for them either. But there, like Siren said, there
right,
are other for them to go to um I've seen other choreographers, let's say, on Instagram,
Mhm.
TikTok. So like, in my opinion, that's not my personal opinion, excuse me. That it this is it should be strictly with the topics that I said before, like podcast, DJing, music, gaming, arts, are more of the category that should be more involved with Twitch.
Mhm.
Fitness
Right,
is not
right.
one either, like you said too. So yeah,
I don't understand the fitness one, you know?
neither
I
do I.
I
don't.
don't either.
But I like it. But sports, there's a sports channel, which I mean, sports does have some bit to do with gaming. I mean, I I can understand sports being a thing on Twitch. But like, okay, I pulled up sports, and most of it looks like it's Formula One racing. Which I have no problem with sports being on in a gaming setting, you know? Sports in general are games.
That's true.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
Um I mean, I did see one channel if you scroll down a little bit on that page that the it was this lovely female wearing a not not appropriate, I feel, for watching sports, but more appropriate for getting 13-year-old boys to look at her.
Mhm.
Like, okay, I feel the women that use Twitch to do stuff like pole dancing.
Mhm.
If you guys don't understand what the clearing throats,
Mhm.
when we started and still going on while we're streaming this, it's still happening. She's still
Mhm.
doing it. Um, I feel like that type of stuff should not be allowed to
Yeah,
be on Twitch. Like, but artwork, I fully understand why artwork could be on Twitch. I fully
Mhm.
understand just basic chatting to be on Twitch. I fully understand sports being on Twitch. I just don't get ASMR being on Twitch or like certain other subjects out there.
Mhm. Like, I just don't get it. Like for me, like, and it's even on TikTok, and W could agree with me on this. Like the ear licking ASMR, or just like where you can literally hear the saliva in their mouth. That is so cringy to me.
yeah. I
And I'm like,
don't.
why is this a thing? Like now, like if someone's playing with slime, I understand that. Like that's actually really satisfying. I find that satisfying. Don't come
No,
at
no,
me.
you're not wrong. Trust me, I don't.
But
Me too.
but, like, ear licking and just do it like, I don't wanna hear, like, you
Right.
eating your food or you licking a mic
Right.
because, I mean, yeah, everyone's like, "Oh, well, you could just not watch it, you can just, make it to where the channel just come up." But it how can you not when it's so many people that's doing it and think that's it's just appropriate for Twitch?
I agree with.
Right.
It doesn't belong here.
No, it doesn't.
Like, if you
Because
wanna
like,
do that, there's other sites.
yeah, I agree with that. Because
Go
like
to
the
it.
fact that pole dancing is known to be a very alluring uh style of
Mhm,
dance, and the fact with what they wear, it doesn't really help. Yeah, it helps with the eye catching portion, but like you said, it's not um something that should belong on.
mhm.
No, it's
It's
not.
not. And I think that
Uh,
also contributes to what we were talking about earlier too. So especially
Mhm.
what they're wearing doesn't really help.
right,
And then
exactly.
and even like the hot tub streams, like I think, especially with the big time female streamers who are okay with putting their body out there, they are pushing the envelope. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna see how far we could go to see how far how much rope Twitch is willing to give us. If we can keep going, they're gonna do that."
Right.
I'm like, but it's why are you in a bikini on a hot tub like and doing a hot tub stream? This I and like literally dry humping a freaking inflatable. Like, why? Just why are you doing this? Like, I know like you're getting that, you're making that money. Good for you. Hats off to you, but it's more of like you're doing this for attention, and I think most people look at it as like any publicity or any like kind of is good publicity, whether it's negative or positive. And so they roll with it. And it's like you gotta have some kind of self-respect for yourself
Mhm.
instead of putting yourself out there and appeasing to the male audience. Because you keep doing that, they're gonna expect it over and over and over again. And
And
then
of
there's gonna be a
other females.
because they're gonna
And
expect
then
you to do it.
yeah, exactly. And that's one of the issues is while I do not mind people doing it,
Mhm,
I feel that a person should do it in the proper areas
mhm.
or
Especially
proper
since there's kids on
sites.
here.
Right. And Twitch will still allow certain people to not be marked mature and allow even 13-year-olds to watch them.
Mhm,
And what really puts a wedge into the the argument, it's like, oh, you should not objectify women, is women that do that type of stuff. I like again, like I said, I have no problem with women doing that and letting themselves be objectified, but doing it in a setting where a 13-year-old can easily get a hold of it.
mhm,
If if it was behind a if it was behind like a different website or on a different website instead of a gaming website or a website. Yes, this is a live streaming platform. Live streaming doesn't mean sex.
mhm,
If you want to live stream sexual type of stuff, there is websites out there. We both you, Siren, and I before the stream made mention of like about what was it? Two of them right off the top of our
2 or
heads.
3 of them, yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm,
Yeah. And it's like they're out there. They're
mhm,
out there. We don't need to put it on a site that should be, well, yes, my content is meant for more of a higher age range,
mhm,
but this website in general was designed for teenagers to young adults
mhm.
for the most part. Um yeah, exactly. Exactly, Crimson Fury. Want to watch a live stream of that type of stuff? Go to yeah.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, ASMR is just weird. There's two types of ASMR. Like, okay, I like ASMR of nature.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah,
the sounds of nature is just crickets chirping, cicadas going off. It's just could sit out there and listen for hours, and
I love
that's an
waterfalls.
AS
Yeah,
there.
Same.
Yeah,
yeah,
waterfalls.
waterfalls is always a very relaxing thing to hear.
And I
And
think, like I mentioned, like the slime, and sometimes for me, don't come for me. Like when they're doing like when people are cooking and you could just hear like the sizzling of the pan and all that.
oh yeah,
That I find very satisfying. But
thunderstorms, crackling
Yep.
fires. Yep, yep.
yes,
Yes,
See,
crackling
crackling fires is
fires,
also
like
a good one.
all
but
that.
That I love.
but the ear slurping, like I'm sorry. It, just the thought of a person shoving their tongue in an ear. Ugh.
Ugh. I'm
Ugh.
glad that my ears are tiny, but like still, this is
That for me is a little uncomfortable. Yeah, I kind of agree
Mhm.
with that. I mean, if you're like how do you say it?
What? what? What was said? Oh Jesus! Do I
uh,
want to know?
no, no.
What in the hell is
I think my podcast just heard Crimson in the background. No, it's perfectly fine. But yeah, I completely agree. There is certain things on Twitch that should be covered. Well, video games, I'm going back to video games. While video games can get a little bit better with their armor and that type of stuff. Yeah. No. Uh, uh, eating streams.
Oh, I hate those, especially when
Mukbangs.
they're chewing
Mm,
gum.
yeah, I
That
don't know
is
about
a
that.
huge pet peeve of mine. Like, if you're like, stop smacking your gum. Like, you don't
Yeah.
need to sit there. I hate it. Like, I don't
That
want to hear
that
you
that's
chewing your food.
that type of ASMR. No.
No,
No, whoever
like
said it,
I would
you're
prefer
banned.
like there is some stuff that I see like the rustling of the mic, like that little clicking that you hear like when they like brush the mic.
Yeah.
That I find a little relaxing. Not like the
Oh yeah, where they're
like
putting the brushes over the mic. Yeah,
yeah or like
I don't mind that.
yeah. It's like,
To a little bit that's acceptable, but
yeah.
there's just a
Certain
limit
things I
for
I
me.
don't
It's
think yeah I don't think it's a little too much.
but
Yeah, if I could hear the saliva in your mouth,
No.
not
no.
gonna watch it.
Nope.
Stop
No,
it.
see,
Get
that's
some
why
help.
I'm not. That's why I'm like, I look at ASMR streams and going, ah, and especially what they wear. It's just, ugh. I'm hoping that's not on my podcast. Yeah, I know what you said. I love my woman. So yeah, like to get back about video game characters, I do not feel video game characters sexualization is a bad thing. If a parent talks with their child and goes, "This is not realistic. Don't
Mhm.
expect don't expect Bethany there to become this like huge tracts of land star." um, because with a very itty bitty waist. No, it's not
Mhm.
going to happen. For the most part, women are not going to look how video game characters are going to look.
Right.
If parents talk with their kids and say, hey, they're not going to be like this.
Mhm.
Women don't dress like this all the time. They might do it for cosplay,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. Yep.
but you, for the most part, I feel the issue about the over sexualization in video games is parents not willing to have that talk with their
Mhm.
kids. Make them understand that the girls in the girls online that are selling their bodies, not all girls look like that. It, see, yeah, I feel like the over sexualization for the most part is an issue not with kids, not with the video games.
It's with the parents themselves
Totally right.
because, like, if
Mhm.
you're not teaching your kids, like, "Hey, this is what you need to do," like, especially when they hit that age of puberty, that's when that talk needs to happen because
Right.
especially for teenage boys, they're gonna get into that they're gonna get into video games. I have and my nephew, he's about to turn 18, he's about to graduate high school, and, um, and I can tell you right now, like, my sister taught him that, but, like, he knows that, like, the video games are not real. He plays it because it's for the storyline. It's for, like, his enjoyment. And if you're not teaching your kids that, then that's on you. You can't blame your kids and or blame someone else because of what they're doing, because you had that opportunity to teach them and you did not do it.
Yeah, I feel that okay, I agree with this person's comment. It's Bone again. Another beautiful viewpoint Bone has here. Let children read whatever they want. I'm going to add the following. Play whatever they want. Watch whatever they want after a certain age, maybe about 12,
Mm,
in my honest opinion. Let them read whatever they want and then talk about it with them. If a parent and kid can talk together, we won't have as much censorship because we won't have as much fear.
That's
that's so true. Well said, Bone.
What why we have so much sexualization is girls can't express themselves the same way boys can. They're forced to
Mhm.
fit into this mold. If we allowed children just to be children, we wouldn't have that censorship problem. We wouldn't have the issue of kids being, oh my god, I saw, I saw, trying to find the word that won't get me, yeah, well, I guess it's out there.
Chest,
Yes,
chest.
yes. I saw I saw female chest. You know, if we if we censor that because we do that because oh it's to protect the children. All it does is make a child go, oh, I want to see it more.
Yeah,
I
because it
hate
makes
to
them more
say it.
curious.
I hate to say it. Humans in general this leads to one of my rants that I would love to do, but not on this. Humans in general are anti control. We don't want to have said control over what we see, what we do. We rebel. We will always rebel. And if we censor everything, what's going to end up is women that says, "Oh, people shouldn't objectify me." You're absolutely right. We shouldn't objectify you. But the reason why it happens is because you're putting up a censorship saying it shouldn't happen.
Mhm.
All right. Any closing words? I mean, I'm
I will say
I
this.
I didn't cover one article
There's
that I read, but about why
no,
men
we'll
play
save for
female
next time.
gamers.
Mhm.
And
But I will say
and
this. There, how do I say this? Like, I think it's something what Crimson said. Like, you tell a teenager they can't do something, and like, and the whole censorship, you're gonna push your child if you keep censoring them and you keep shielding them from like the outside world. They're gonna go explore,
Right.
and then when they do that, and you try to tell them like, "Oh, hey, this is wrong," but if you would have done it the right way, for me, that issue could have been easily. You can't like just shield someone from something because eventually, you tell like, your teenage daughter she can't go out. She's gonna sneak out. Even if she gets caught, she's gonna continue to do it. And it's the same with the teenage boys when it comes to video games, when it comes to television and music videos and stuff. If you shield them from that, they're going they're gonna do things that you don't approve of, but it's your fault because you didn't do the right thing.
Right. And remember, I guess to continue what you're saying, Siren, I feel like maybe it's not about the censorship. If the parents have like a more of a proper conversation with their kids, like I feel like, in my personal opinion, they would have more respect for the female community if they have the right conversation, in a proper way. Because if you
Mhm,
censor someone, like you said, they'll still do it anyway, regardless.
mhm,
well, see, when you say have the proper conversation, the proper conversation isn't you shouldn't sexualize women.
mhm,
You shouldn't sexualize video game characters. You shouldn't do this or you shouldn't do that. Is you're going to look at the opposite sex or lesbian, same sex,
mhm.
uh, certain ways, which is perfectly all right. But don't let it get out of hand. It's not.
Mhm.
I'm not sure exactly what the correct wording is. Each parent would have to decide what the correct wording
Right.
is for their child.
Mhm.
Uh, Okay, children have never been good at listening to their elders, but they have never failed to imitate them. Very
Mhm.
true. Very true. So also again, take it upon yourself to be the better person, you know?
Mhm.
Like I don't think mine and Crimson Sun sexualize women or men. I think he he is a very open person, you know? Yes, he will ogling. He has done his fair share of ogling, but he doesn't ogle somebody of the opposite sex and go, "Hey, go make me a sandwich." or or anything inappropriate, you
Mhm.
know. Um I will say this, looking is different than acting.
Mhm.
And I mean, and he better never or he'll be picking himself up. Yeah, yeah, I know he knows it. Any like I said, any final words? We'll wrap up this conversation here. Go to the after hours real quick. I wasn't expecting this topic to eat up as much as
But this is a
it
good
has.
topic to talk
Yeah,
about, and I'm
it's a very
glad
yeah.
that you had us here for this because this is a topic that it doesn't really get talked about, and then when it does, it's like in a feminist kind of way, and it's just like all the information out there that's been given by the third wave of feminists is wrong. And this is a topic that it needs to be talked about in a proper manner rather than, "Oh, well, we're gonna complain about this, we're gonna complain about that," just to
We're
just to
going to
get people to listen.
complain. We're going to complain, but we're not going to give you a way to solve the issue.
Mhm. It's also, they're more of like, "Oh, yeah, I'm gonna present the problem, but it's your job to fix the problem."
Fix
No.
it. Yeah,
Right.
no, no. We
If
at
you see the
least laid out
problem,
a somewhat of a
yeah.
solution right there. Talk with your kids. Have
Mhm.
them imitate you. Be that change that you want them to be. You know? Like
Exactly.
if you saw your father being a womanizer drunk and you don't want that for your kids, don't be a womanizer and don't be a drunk.
Mhm.
Uh talk to them about that. I mean, as was said a long time ago, it takes 21 days to change a habit.
Mhm.
21 days is not that much time to create a habit or stop a habit. 3 weeks. Yes, exactly. 3 weeks. And people just need to understand you can change. What women need to do, one, on Twitch, I hate to say this, on Twitch, what Twitch needs to do about this is one, stop allowing these women to sell themselves on your site. This is not the site for it.
Mhm.
I mean, YouTube has stopped that. Like,
Mhm.
you just lightly mention it, you can't make money on YouTube. Um, like, you could officially lose your channel if you sexualize women. And that's even
Mhm.
if a woman was doing it to themselves, you know? Like, back in the early days of YouTube, and we're talking over like at the very beginning of YouTube, there were women wearing bikinis vacuuming.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. There was some more risque stuff than what was on Twitch now,
Mhm.
and YouTube people used to say, "Oh, YouTube will never do anything about it because it was making YouTube too much money."
Mhm.
And that's what the issue is with Twitch is they're looking at those streamers and going, "We're making too much money. We don't care about you."
Yeah, but
We
and
we
I
want
think
that
it's
money.
yeah, I think it's messed up if like a big time streamer does it, they get away with it. But
Mm-hmm.
a small streamer that, tries to do the same thing, it's an instant ban for them. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're gonna hold one person to one standard, you have to hold everyone to that same standard because you can't sit there
Exactly.
and be like,
Yeah.
you do this, but you can't. I don't care how much money you're making on this platform. If you're doing something that a smaller streamer did and got banned for it, you should be banned as well. That's
Right.
my opinion.
Right. I fully agree with that. That's a good spot to wrap up with this
Mhm.
here regular stream, and then we can go to after hours, talk with the audience a little bit more, interact with what they're saying here. So if you want to watch this live on Twitch, go next week, go to twitch.tv/𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀. That is where this is recorded live. If you're watching it on YouTube, hit that like, subscribe, and share it. Share it on YouTube. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast platform, like it, favorite this podcast so it can be automatically download. Tell one of your friends. If you're on iTunes, give it a 5-star. This will help the KoreCast talking games so we can cover more subjects like this in the future for you guys. Um, so I will wrap that up here. I like to thank Siren once again and Dove
Thank you for
here
having me.
Thank
for
you guys.
being here today with me. You guys always welcome to be on this. Except next week. Next week, big surprise. Big surprise there next week.
Ooh.
Oh, such a way. Thank you, Melkor. Thank you for having us.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Not a problem. All right. Yeah.